Okay.
Okay. So, we're going to continue. King John, scene 4. The same, the French's King tent. Enter King Philip, Louis, Pandolf in attendance. So, by a roaring tempest on the flood, a whole armado of convicted sail is scattered and disjoined from fellowship. Courage and comfort, all shall yet go well. What can go well when we have run so ill? Are we not beaten? Is not Angers lost? Arthur 10 prisoners? Divers dear friends slain? And bloody England into England gone? O Urbarian interruption, spite of France? What he hath won, that hath he fortified, so hot a speed with such advice disposed, such temperate order and so fierce a cause, doth want example. Who hath read or heard of any kindred action like to this? What could I bear that England had this praise, so we could find some pattern of our shame? Enter Constance. Look, who comes here, a grave unto a soul, holding the eternal spirit against her will, in the vile prison of afflicted breath. I prithee, lady, go away from me. Go away with me. Lo now see the issue of your peace. Patience, good lady, comfort, gentle Constance. No, I defy all counsel, all redress, but that which ends all counsel. True redress, death. Oy, amiable, lovely death. Thou adored for its stench, sound rottenness. Arise forth from the couch of lasting night. Thou hate and terror to prosperity, and I will kiss thy detestable bones, and put my eyeballs in thy vaulty brows, and wring these fingers with thy household worms, and stop this gap of breath with fulsome dust, and be a carrion monster like thyself. Come, grin on me, and I will thank thou smile and bless thee as thy wife. Misery's love, wait, come to me. Oh, fair affliction, peace. No, I will not, having breath to cry. Wait, that's my tongue were in the thunder's mouth. Then with a passion would I shake the world, and rouse from sleep that fell anatomy which cannot hear nor extreme wood, which scorns the modification. Lady, you utter madness, and not so. Thou art not going to bed myself. I am not mad. This hair I tear is mine. My name is Constance. I was Geoffrey's wife. Young Arthur is my son, and he is lost. I am not mad. I would to heaven I were, for then 'tis like I should forget myself. Boy, if I could, what grief should I forget? Preach some philosophy to make me mad, and thou shalt be canonized, Cardinal. For being not mad, but sensible of grief, my reasonable part produces reason, how I may be delivered of these woes, and teaches me to kill or hang myself. If I were mad, I should forget my son, or mad to think a babe of clap for he. I am not mad. Too well I feel the different plague of each calamity. Bind up those tresses. Oi, what love I note in the fair multitude of those her hair. Where but by chance a silver drop hath fallen, even to that drop 10,000 wiry friends do glue themselves in sociable grief, like true, inseparable, faithful love, sticking together in calamity. To England, if you will. Bind up your hairs. Yes, that I will, and wherefore will I do it? I tore them from their bond, and cried aloud, Oi, that these hands could do so redeem my son, as they have given these hairs their liberty. But now I envy at their liberty, and will again commit them to their bonds, because my poor child is a prisoner. And, Father Cardinal, I have heard you say that we shall see and know our friends in heaven. If that be true, I shall see my boy again. For since the birth of Cain, the first male child, to him that did but yesterday suspire, there was not such a gracious creature born. But now will canker sorrow eat my bud, and chase the native beauty from his cheek, and he will look still hollow as a ghost, as dim and meager as an ague's fit. And so he'll die, and rising up again, when I shall meet him in the court of heaven, I shall not know him. Therefore never, never must I behold my pretty Arthur more. You hold two hands to the respect of grief. He talks to me, they never had a son. You are as fond of Greece as of your child. Grief fills the room up of my absent child, lies in his bed, walks up and down with me, puts on his pretty looks, repeats his words, remembers me of all his gracious parts, stuffs out his vacant garments with his form. Then have I reason to be fond of grief. Fare you well. Had you such a loss as I could give better comfort than you do. I will not keep his form upon my head, when there is such disorder in my wit. Oi, Lord, my boy, my Arthur, my fair son, my life, my joy, my food, my all the world, my widow comfort, and my sorrow's cure. I fear some outrage, and I'll follow her. There's nothing in this world can make me joy. Life is as tedious as a twice-told tale, vexing the dull ear of a drowsy man, and bitter shame hath spoiled the sweet world's taste, that it yields not but shame and bitterness. Before the curing of a strong disease, even the instance of repair and health, the fit is strongest. Evils that take leave on their departure most of all show evil. What have you lost by losing of this day? All days are glory, joy, and happiness. If you had won it, certainly you had. No, when fortune means to men most good, she looks upon them with a threatening eye. 'Tis strange to think how much King John hath lost in this which he accounts so clearly won. Are not you grieved that Arthur is his prisoner? As heartily as he is glad he hath him. Your mind is all as youthful as your blood. Now hear me, speak with prophetic spirit, for even the breath of what I mean speak shall blow each dust, each straw, each little rub, out of the path which shall directly lead thy foot to England's throne, and therefore mark. John hath seized Arthur, and it cannot be that whiles warm life plays in that infant's veins, in this place John should entertain an hour, 1 minute, nay, one quiet breath of rest. A sceptre snatched with an unruly hand must be as boisterously maintained as gained, and he that stands upon a slippery place makes nice and no vile hold to stay him up. That John may stand, then Arthur needs must fall, so be it, for it cannot be but so. But what shall I gain by young Arthur's fall? You in the right of Lady Blanche your wife may then make all the claim that Arthur did, and lose it, life and all as Arthur did. How green you are and fresh in this old world. John lays your plots, the times conspire with you, for he that sleeps his safety in true blood shall find out bloody safety an untrue. This act so evilly born shall cool the hearts of all his people and freeze up their zeal, that none so small advantage shall step forth to check his reign, but they will cherish it. No natural exaltation in the sky, no scope of nature, no distempered day, no common wind, and no custom event, but they will pluck away his natural cause and call them meteors, prodigies, and signs, abortives, presages, and tongues of heaven, plainly denouncing vengeance upon John. Maybe he will not touch young Arthur's life, but hold himself safe in his imprisonment. Oi, sir, when he shall hear of your approach, if that young Arthur be not gone already, even at that news he dies, and then the hearts of all his people shall revolt from him and kiss the lips of an unacquainted change, and pick strong matter of revolt and wrath out of bloody fingers in the John. Methinks I see this Hurley all on foot. Boy, what better matter breeds for you than I have named? The bastard Falconbridge is now in England ransacking the church. A Fenian charity, if but a frozen French were there in arms, they would be as a call to train 10,000 English to their side. For as a little snow tumbled about, anon becomes a mountain. O noble Dolphin, go with me to the king. 'Tis wonderful what may be wrought out of their discontent, now that their souls are top full of offence. For England go, I will wet on the king. Strong reasons make strong actions. Let us go. If you say I, the king will not say so. I'll dabble a little bit. Another place be forsaken. Because my people hath forgotten me, they have burned incense to vanity, and they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient past, to walk and pass in a way not cast out. To make their land desolate and a perpetual hissing, every one that passeth thereby shall be astonished and wag his head. I will scatter them as with an east wind before the enemy. I will shew them in the back, and not the face in the day of their calamity. Then said they, Come, and let us devise devices against Jeremiah. For the law shall not perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Come, and let us smite him with the tongue, and let us not give heed to any of his words. How now? John, give heed to me, O Lord, and hearken to the voice of them that contend with me. Shall even be recompense for good? For they have digged a pit for my soul. Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them, and to turn away thy wrath upon them. Therefore deliver up their children to the famine, and pour out their blood by the force of the sword, and let their wives be bereaved of their children, and be widows, and be biddies, and be and be widows. No, and let their men be put to death, let their young be slain by the sword in battle. Let a cry be heard from their houses, when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them, for they have digged a pit to take me, and hid snares for my feet. Yet, Lord, thou knowest all their counsel against me, to slay me. Forgive me not their iniquity, neither blot out their sin from my sight, but let them be overthrown before thee. Deal thus with them in the time of thy anger. Hey, if you want to shoot down a meteor and just blow everybody up, by all means, have free reign. I'm not going to just go into the room and start busting heads, I know that. Let me get on Facebook and let everybody see this. We'll have a delegation here. So I guess he's talking about the bird. That's good to know. It goes either way. So I guess that's like a... I know spiders do that. There's certain spiders that'll eat their young. So I guess that would make sense, like the male robin kills the firstborn male. It would make sense. Again, all I saw was a piece of meat, and it wasn't really anything. It wasn't... You could not tell what it was. There was nothing left. There was no blood. There was feathers everywhere. There was only one, so... A possum could have got him. I mean, anything could have happened. I just do not know. I mean, there's only so much you can do at night when you sleep, you know? The hounds attack. Take heed to me, John. What am I taking heed of? Chapter 19. Thus said the Lord, Go, get a potter's earthen bottle, and take out the ancients of the people, and of the ancients of the priests. You're going to have to drag me out of the home. It's no, I promise you. It's not here. No, thank you. Yeah, dude, you fucked up, I promise you. I don't need crying baby on me. I'm not interested at all. Here, let me just prove it. Exactly what I've been saying. As you sit there and try to, like, flail in front of me without actually... Hey, you random dudes. Chapter 19. Thus said the Lord, Go and get a potter's earthen bottle, and take out the ancients of the people and the ancients of the priests, and go forth into the valley of the sons of Hinnom, which is by the entry of the east gate, and proclaim there the words that I shall tell thee. Okay, let's go to Twitter. Go see the Brahmin. Beautiful woman. Oh, so there's no Brahmin. We're the Brahmin. Give me Brahmin. No, not that. This is what I'm talking about. The Brahmin here. I'm going to assume this is a crowd of people, even though it looks like rocks, probably. We'll assume this is a crowd of people.
One door holds your final
Here, let's get in. Come on.
The horse insists you guess.
Nope, no, sir. Not even a little bit. All those kids that we saw dead. Let's go and get in here. Come on. I saw it. I watched. I looked at every single one of you. I promise you. I saw kids dead in the tree. I promise. Come on. I looked. We ain't no woman beating here. Come on. That's not what we do. You out of your mind. Fucking the Horn of Gondor here. What is it called? Gondor? Gondor. Proclaim there the words that I shall tell thee, this angry woman here, and say, hear ye the word of the Lord of Kings of Judah, and inhabitants of Jerusalem. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will bring evil upon this place, the which whosoever heareth, the ears shall tingle, because they have forsaken me, and have estranged this place, and have burned incense in other gods, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Judah have filled with places with the blood of innocents.
Your final challenge tonight is against a time-locked high warrior.
They have built also the high places of Baal, to turn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came it unto my mind. Therefore behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that this place shall no more be called Tophet, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter. And I will make void the counsel of Judah and Jerusalem in this place, and I will cause them to fall by the sword before their enemies, and by the hand of them that seek their lives. And their carcasses will I give to be the meat for the fowls of the heaven, and for the beasts of the earth. And I will make this city desolate, and a hissing, and everyone that passeth thereby shall be astonished and hiss, because of all the plagues whereof. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons, and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one of the flesh of his friend, and the siege, and straightness wherewith their enemies. And they that seek their lives shall straiten them. And shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, even so will I break this people and this city, as one breaketh a potter's vessel, that cannot be made whole again. And they shall bury them to Tophet, till there be no place to bury them. Thus will I do unto this place, said the Lord, and to the inhabitants thereof, and even make the city of Tophet. And the houses of Jerusalem, and the houses of the kings of Judah shall be defiled as the place of Tophet, because of all the houses upon whose roofs they have burned incense unto all the hosts of heaven, and have poured out drink offerings unto other gods. Then came Jeremiah from Tophet, whither the Lord had sent him to prophesy. And he stood in the court of the Lord's house, and said to all the people, Thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will bring upon the city and upon all her towns all the evil that I have pronounced against them, because they have hardened their necks, that they might not hear my word. Act 4. King John. Scene 1. Northampton, a room in the castle. Enter Hubert and 2 attendants. Heat me these irons hot, and look thou stand within the arras. When I strike my foot upon the bosom of the ground, rush forth, and bind the boy which you shall find with me, fast to the chair. Be heedful, hence and watch. I hope your warrant will bear out the deed. Unclean scruples, I fear not you. Look. Young lad, come forth. I have to say with you. Enter Arthur. Good morrow, Hubert. Good morrow, little prince. As little prince, having so great a title to be more prince, as may be, you are sad. Indeed, I have been merrier. Mercy on me. Methinks nobody should be sad but I. Yet I remember while I was in France, the young gentleman would be as sad as I, only for a wantonness. But my Christendom, so I were out of the prison, kept sheep, I should be as merry as the day is long. And so I would be here, but that I doubt my uncle practices more harm to me. He is afraid of me, and I of him. Is it my fault that I was Geoffrey's son? No, indeed, it's not. And I would be heaven. I were your son, so you would love me, Hubert. If I talk to him with this innocent prate, he will awake my mercy which lies dead. Therefore I will be sudden and dispatch. Are you sick, Hubert? You look pale today. In sooth, I would you were a little sick, that I might sit all night and watch with you a warrant. I love you more than you do me. His words do take possession, my bosom. Read here, young Arthur. How now, foolish room, turning despicious torture out of door. I must be brief, lest resolution drop out of mine eyes in tender womanish tears. Can you not read it? Is it not fair writ?
You are tonight's champion. Please take
Oh, they refuse to acknowledge.
thank you for playing
What do you say to it?
their
I mean, here's your entitlements. Thank you.
And this is served, reminding you to have your ghost spared. may or do. Good night.
Too fairly, Hubert, for so foul effect. Must you without irons burn out both mine eyes? Young boy, I must. And will you? And I will. Have you the heart? When your head did but ache, I knit my handkerchief about your brows. The best I had a princess wrought at me, and I did never ask it you again. And with my hand at midnight held your hand, and like the watchful minutes to the hour, still and anon cheered up the heavy time, saying, what lack you, and what lies your grief? Or what good love may I perform for you? Many a poor man's son would have lain still, and ne'er have spoke a loving word to you. But you at your sick service had a prince. Nay, you may think my love was crafty love, and call it cunning. Do it if you will. If heaven be pleased that you must use my ill, why then you must. Will you put out my eyes? These eyes never did, nor never shall, so much as frown on you. I have sworn to do it, and without irons must I burn them out. Ay, none but in this iron age would do it. The iron of itself, though heat red hot, approaching near these eyes, would drink my tears, and quench this fiery indignation, even in the matter of mine innocence. Nay, after that consume away and rust, but for containing fire and harm my eyes. Are you more stubborn hard than hammered iron? And if an angel should ever come to me and told me Hubert should put out my eyes, I would not have believed him, no tongue but Hubert's. Come forth, re-enter attendance with court irons, and see. Do as I bid you do. Oi, save me, Hubert, save me. My eyes are out, even with the fierce looks of these bloody men. Give me the iron, I say, and bind him here. Alas, what need you be so boisterous, rough? I will not struggle, I will stand stone still. For heaven's sake, Hubert, let me not be bound. Nay, hear me, Hubert, drive these men away, and I will sit as quiet as a lamb. I will not stir, nor wince, nor speak a word, nor look upon that iron angelly. Thrust but these men away, and I'll forgive you, whatever torments you do put me to. Go stand within, let me alone with him. I am best pleased to perform such a deed. Alas, I then have chid away my friend. Chide? He hath a stern look, but a gentle heart. Let him come back, but this compassion may give life to yours. Come, boy, prepare yourself. Is there no remedy? None, but to lose your eyes. Oi, heaven, that there were but a mote in yours. A grain of dust, a gnat, a wandering hair. Any annoyance in that precious sense, then feeling what small things are boisterous there. Your vile intent must needs some horrible. Is this your promise? Go to, hold your tongue. Hubert, the utterance of a brace of tongues must needs want pleading for a pair of eyes. Let me not hold my tongue, let me not, Hubert, or Hubert, if you will, cut out my tongue. Say I may keep my eyes, oi, spare my eyes, though to no use but still to look on you. Lo, by my troth, the instrument is cold, and would not harm me. I can heat it, boy. No, in good sooth, the fire is dead with grief, being created for comfort, to be used in undeserved extremes. See else yourself. There is no mouth in this burning coal. The breath of heaven hath blown his spirit out, and strewed repentant ashes on his head. But with my breath I can revive it, boy. And if you do, you will but make it blush, and glow with shame of your proceedings, Hubert. Nay, it perchance will sparkle in your eyes, and like a dog that is compelled to fight, snatch at his master that doth tear him on. All things that you should use to do me wrong. Deny their office, only you do lack that mercy which fierce fire the iron extends. Creatures of note for mercy like muses. Well, seek to live. I will not touch thine eyes, for all the treasure that thy uncle owes. For yet I am sworn, and I did purpose, boy, with this same very iron to burn them out. Oi, now you look like Hubert all this while you were disguised. Peace, no more, adieu. Your uncle must not know, but you are dead. I'll fill these dog spies with false reports, and pretty child sleep doubtless and secure, that Hubert for that wealth of all the world will not defend thee. Oi, heaven, I thank you, Hubert. Silence, no more, go closely with me. Much danger do I undergo for thee. Scene 2, the same, a room of state in the palace. Enter King John, crowned, Pembroke, Salisbury, and other lords. The king takes his state. Here once again we sit, once again crowned, and looked upon, I hope, with cheerful eyes. This once again, but that your highness please, was once superfluous. You were crowned before, and that high royalty was ne'er plucked off. The face of men ne'er stained with revolt, fresh expectation troubled not the land with any longed for change or better state. Therefore to be possessed with a double pomp, to guard a title that was rich before, to gild refined gold, to paint the lily, to throw perfume on the violet, to smooth the ice or add another hue upon the rainbow, or with a taper light, to seek the beauteous eye of heaven to garnish his wasteful and ridiculous excess. But what your royal pleasure must be done. This act is as an ancient tale new told, and in that last repeating troublesome, being urged at a time unseasonable. In this the antique and well-noted face of plain old form is much disfigured, and like a shifted wing unto a sail, it makes the course of thoughts to fetch about, startles and frights, consideration, makes sound opinion sick and truth suspected, for putting on so new-fashioned robe. When workmen strive to do better than well, they do confound their skill in covetousness, and oftentimes excusing of a fault doth make the fault the worse by the excuse. As patches set upon a little breach discredit more in hiding of the fault than did the fault before it was patched. To this effect, before you were new crowned, we breathed our counsel, but it pleased your highness to overbear it, and we are all well pleased, since all and every part of what we could doth make us stand at what your highness will. Some reasons of this double coronation I possessed you with, and think them strong, and more strong, when lesser is my fear, I shall endue you with. Meantime but ask, what you would have reformed that is not well, and well shall you perceive how willingly I will both hear and grant you your request. Then I, as one that in the tongue of these, to sound the purposes of all their hearts, both for myself and them, but chief of all your safety, for the which myself and them been their best studies, heartily request the enfranchisement of Arthur, whose restraint doth move the murmuring lips of discontent to break into this dangerous argument. If what interest you have in rights you hold, why then you fears, which is, as they say, attend their stops of wrong, should move you to mew up your tender kinsman, and to choke his days with barbarous ignorance, and deny his youth the rich advantage of a good exercise. That's the time enemies may not have this to grace the occasions that it be our suit, that you have bid us ask his liberty, which for our goods we do no further ask, than whereupon our weal on you depending counts. It's your will we have this liberty. Enter Hubert. Let it be so. I do commit his youth to your direction. Hubert, what news with you? This is the man should do the bloody deed. He showed his warrant to a friend of mine. The image of a wicked hyena's fault lives in his eye. That close aspect of his does show the mood of a much troubled breast, and I do fearfully believe 'tis done. What we so feared we had a charge to do. The colour of the king doth come and go between his purpose and his conscience. Like Herod's twixt two dreadful battles set, his passion is so ripe it needs must break. And when it breaks, I fear will issue thence the foul corruption of sweet child's death. We cannot hold mortality's strong hand, good lords, although my will to give it living, the suit which you demand is gone and dead. He tells us Arthur is deceased tonight. Indeed, we feared his sickness was past cure. Indeed, we heard how near his death he was before the child himself felt he was sick. This must be answered either here to hence. Why do you bend such solemn brows on me? Think you I bear the shears of destiny? Have I commandment on the pulse of life? It is apparent foul play, and 'tis a shame that greatness should so grossly offer it. So thrive it in your game, and so farewell. Stay yet, Lord Salisbury, I'll go with thee, and find the inheritance of this poor child, his little kingdom of a forced grave, that blood which owed the breadth of all his isle. 3 foot of a death hold, bad world the while. This must not be thus born. This will break out to all our sorrows, and ere long I doubt. They burn in indignation. I repent. There is no sure foundation set on blood, no certain life achieved by others' death. Enter a messenger. A fearful eye thou hast. Where is that blood that I have seen inhabit in these cheeks? So foul a sky clears not with a storm. Pour down thy weather. How goes all in the France? From France to England, never such power for any foreign preparation was levied in the body of a land. The copy of his speed is learned by them, for when he should be told, they do prepare. The tidings come that they are all arrived. Oi, where hath our intelligence been drunk? Where hath it slept? Where's my mother's care that such an army could be drawn in France, and she not hear of it? My liege, her ears stopped with dust. The 1st of April died your noble mother, and as I hear, my lord, your lady Constance is a frenzy died 3 days before. But this from rumour's tongue I idly heard. If true or false, I know not. Withhold thy speed, dreadful occasion. Oi, make a league with me till I have pleased my discontented peers. What, mother dead? How idly then walks my estate in France? under whose conduct came those powers by France, that thou for truth givest out our land here. Under the Dauphin, thou hast made me giddy with these ill tidings. Enter the bastard and Peter of Pomfret. Now what says the world to your proceedings? Do not seek to stuff my head with more ill news, for it is full. But if you be afeard to hear the worst, then let the worst and herd fall on your head. Bear with me, cousin, for I was amazed under the tide, but now I breathe again, aloft the flood, and can give audience to any tongue, speak it of what it will. How I have sped among the clergymen, the sums I have collected shall express, but as I travelled hither through the land, I find the people strangely fantasied, possessed with rumors, full of idle dreams, not knowing what they fear, but full of fear. And hear the prophet that I brought with me, from forth the streets of Pomfret, whom I found, with many hundreds treading on his heels, to whom he sung in rude harsh-sounding rhymes, that ere the next Ascension day, at noon, your highness should deliver up your crown. Thou idle dreamer, wherefore didst thou go so? For knowing that the truth will fall out so, Hubert away with him, imprisoned him, and on that day at noon, whereon he says, I shall yield up my crown. Let him be hanged, deliver him to safety in return, for I must use thee. Oi, my gentle cousin, hearest thou the news abroad? Who are arrived? The French, my lord, men's mouths are full of it. Besides, I met Lord Bicket and Lord Southbury with eyes as red as new enkindled fire, and others more are going to seek the grave of Arthur, whom they say is killed tonight, on your suggestion. Gentle kinsman, go and thrust thyself into their companies. I have a way to win their loves again. Bring them before me. I will seek them out. Nay, but make haste, the better foot before. Oi, let me have no subject enemies when adverse foreigners affright my towns, with dreadful pomp of stout invasion. Be Mercury, set feathers to thy heels, and fly like thought from them to me again. The spirit of the time shall teach me speed. Spoke like a spriteful, noble gentleman. Go after him, for he perhaps shall need some messenger betwixt me and the peers, and be thou he. With all my heart, my liege. My mother dead? Re-enter Hubert. My lord, they say 5 moons were seen tonight. 4 fixed with the 5th did whirl about. The other 4 in wondrous motion. 5 moons. Old men and beldams in the streets do prophesy upon it dangerously. Young Arthur's death is common in their mouths, and when they talk of him they shake their heads and whisper one another in their ear. And he that speaks doth gripe the hearer's wrist, while he that hears makes fearful action, with wrinkled brows, with nods and rolling eyes. Okay, thank you. I thank you for taking notice. Psychopath, shut up. I saw Smith staring with his hammer thus, the whilst his iron did on the anvil cool, with open mouth swallowing Taylor's news, who with his shears and measure in his hand, standing on slippers, which his nimble haste had falsely thrust upon contrary feet, told of him many thousand warlike French that were embattled and ranked in Kent. Another lean unwashed artificer cuts off his tail and talks of Arthur's death. Why seekest thou to possess me with these fears? Why urgest thou so oft to young Arthur's death? Thy hand hath murdered him. I had a mighty cause to wish him dead, but thou hast none to kill him. No hand, my lord. Why did you not provoke me? It is the curse of kings to be attended by slaves that take their humours for a warrant, to break within the bloody house of life, and on the winking of authority to understand a law to know the meaning of dangerous majesty, when perchance it frowns more upon humour than advised respect. Here's your hand and seal for what I did. Oi, when the last account twixt heaven and earth is to be made, then shall his hand and seal witness against us to damnation. How often the sight of means to do ill deeds makes ill deeds done. Hadst not thou been by a fellow by thy hand of nature marked, quoted, and signed to do a deed of shame, this murder had not come into my mind. But taking note of thy abhorred aspect, finding thee fit of bloody villainy, apt liable to be employed in danger, I frankly broke with thee of Arthur's death, and now to be endeared to a king made it no conscience to destroy a prince. My lord, hadst thou but shook thy head, or made a pause when I spake darkly what I purposed, or turned an eye of doubt upon my face, as bid me tell my tale and express words, deep shame had struck me dumb, made me break off, and those thy fears made have wrought fears in me. But thou didst understand me by my signs, and didst in signs against parley with sin. Yea, without stop didst let thy heart consent, and consequently thy rude hand to act thy deed, which doth both our tongues held vile to name. Out of my sight, and never see me more. My nobles leave me, and my state is braved, even at my gates, with ranks of foreign powers. Nay, in the body of this fleshly land, this kingdom, this confine of bloody and breath, hostility and civil tumults reigns between my conscience and my cousin's death. Arm you against your other enemies, I'll make a peace between your soul and you. Young Arthur is alive, this hand of mine is yet a maiden and an innocent hand, yet painted with the crimson spots of blood. Within this bosom never entered yet the dreadful motion of a murderous thought, and you have slandered nature in my form, which howsoever rude exteriorly is yet the cover of a fairy mind, then to be butcher of an innocent child. Doth Arthur live? Wait, haste thee to the peers, throw this report on the incensed rage, and make them tame to their obedience. Forgive the comment that my passion made upon thy feature, for my rage was blind, and foul imaginary eyes of blood presented thee more hideous than thou art. Only answer not, but to my closet bring the angry lords. With all expedient haste I conjure thee, but slowly, run more fast. Scene 3, the same. Before the castle, enter Arthur on the walls. The wall is high, and yet will I leap down? Good ground, be pitiful, and hurt me not. There's few or none do know me. If they did, this ship boy's semblance hath disguised me quite. I am afraid, and yet I'll venture it. If I get down, and do not break my limbs, I'll find 1,000 shifts to get away. As good to die and go, as die and stay. Oy me, my uncle's spirit is in these stones. Heaven take my soul, and England keep my bones. Enter Pembroke, Salisbury, and Bigot. Lords, I will meet him at St. Edmundsbury. It is our safety, and we must embrace this gentle offer to the perilous time. Who brought that letter from the cardinal? The Count Mullen, a noble lord of France, whose private with me of the Dauphin's love is much more general than these lines import. Tomorrow morning let us meet him then, or rather than set forward, for 'twill be 2 long days' journey, lord, or ere we meet. Enter the bastard. Once more today, well met, distempered lords. The king by me requests your presence straight. The king hath disposed himself to us. We will not line his thin the silk cloak with our pure honors, nor tend the foot that leaves the print of blood where it walks. Return and tell him so. We know the worst. Whatever you think, good words, I think we're the best. Our griefs and not our manners reason now, but there is little reason in your grief. Therefore 'twere reason you had manners now. Sir, impatience has his privilege. 'Tis true, to hurt his master, no man else. This is the prison. What as he lies here? O death, made proud with pure and princely beauty, the earth had not a hole to hide this deed. Murder, as hating what himself hath done, doth lay it open to urge on revenge. Or when he doomed this beauty to a grave, found it too precious princely for a grave. Sir Richard, what think you? Have you beheld, or have you read or heard, or could you think, or do you almost think, although you see, that you do see? Could thought without this object form such another? This is the very top, the height to the crest, or crest unto the crest, of murder's arms. This is the bloodiest shame, the wildest savagery, the vilest stroke that ever wild-eyed wrath of staring rage presented as the tears of soft remorse. All murders past do stand excused in this, and this so sole and so unmatchable shall give a holiness, a purity to the yet unbegotten sin of times, and prove a deadly bloodshed but a jest exampled by this heinous spectacle. It is a damned and bloody word, the graceless action of a heavy hand, if that to be the work of any hand. If that it be the work of any hand, we had a kind of light that would ensue. It is the shameful work of Hubert's hand, the practice and the purpose of the king, from whose obedience I forbid my soul, kneeling before this ruin of sweet life, and breathing to his breathless excellence the incense of a vow, a holy vow, never to taste the pleasures of this world, never to be infected with delight, nor conversant with ease and idleness, till I have set a glory to this hand, by giving it to the worship of revenge. Our souls religiously confirm thy words. Enter Hubert. Lords, I am hot with haste in seeking you. Arthur doth live. The king hath sent for you. Oi, he is bold and blusheth not at death. Avaunt, thou hateful villain, get thee gone. I am no villain. Must I rob the law? Your sword is bright, sir, but it up again. Not till I sheath it in a murderer's skin. Stand back, Lord Salisbury, stand back, I say. By heaven, I think my sword's as sharp as yours. I will not have you, Lord, forget yourself, nor tempt the danger of true defense, lest I, by marking of your rage, forget your worth, your greatness, and nobility. Out, dunghill, darest thou brave a nobleman? Not for my life, but yet I dare defend my innocent life against an emperor. Thou art a murderer. Do not prove me so. Yet I am none. Whose tongue, sir, speaks false? Not truly speaks, who speaks not truly lies. Cut him to pieces. Keep the peace, I say. Stand by, or I shall call you, Falconbridge. Thou wert better gall the devil, Salisbury. If thou but frown on me, or stir thy foot, or teach thy hasty spleen to do me shame, I'll strike thee dead. Put up thy sword, betime, or I'll so maul you in your toasting iron, that you shall think the devil is come from hell. What wilt thou do, renowned Falconbridge? Second a villain and a murderer? Lord Bigot, I am done. Who killed this prince? 'Tis not an hour since I left him well. I honored him, I loved him, and well, weep my date of life out for his sweet life's loss. Trust not those cunning watchers of his eyes, for villainy is not without such room, and he long traded in it makes it seem like rivers of remorse and innocency. Away with me, all you whose souls abhor the uncleanly savours of a slaughterhouse, for I am stifled with the smells of sin. Away toward Bury to the Dolphin there. There tell the king he may inquire us out. Hear the good world. Knew you of this fair work? Beyond the infinite the boundless reach of mercy, if thou didst the deed of death, art thou damned, Hubert? Do but hear me, sir. I'll tell thee that what? Thou art damned as black. Nay, nothing is so black. Thou art more deep damned than Prince Lucifer. There is not yet so ugly a fiend of hell as thou shalt be if thou didst kill this child. Upon my soul, if thou didst but consent to this most cruel act, do but despair. And if thou want a cord, the smallest thread that ever spider twisted from her womb, will serve to strangle thee. A rush will be a beam to hang thee on, or wouldst thou drown thyself? Put but a little water in a spoon, and it shall be as all the ocean. Enough to stifle such a villain up. I do suspect thee very grievously. If I in act, consent, or sin of thought, be guilty of the stealing that sweet breath, which was embounded in this beauteous clay, let hell want pains enough to torture me. I left him well. Go bear him in thine arms. I'm amazed, methinks, and lose my ways among the thorns and dangers of this world. How easy dost thou take all England up? From forth this morsel of dead royalty, the life, the right, and the truth of all this realm is fled to heaven, and England now is left to tug and scramble and to part by the teeth, the unknowed interests of proud swelling state. Now for the bare-picked bone of majesty doth dogged war bristle his angry crest, and snarled in the gentle eyes of peace. Now powers from home and discontents at home meet in one line, and vast confusion waits, as doth the raven on a sick fallen beast, the imminent decay of rested pomp. Now happy is whose cloak and censure can hold out this tempest. Bear away that child and follow me with speed. I'll go to the king. 1,000 businesses are brief in hand, and heaven itself doth frown upon the land. Chapter 20 of Jeremiah. We'll do one more. They can shut up out there. Quit running idle. You can quit running idle now. Hey, bait on the idol and the torture, what we've been talking about the entire time. Chapter 20. Jeremiah. Okay, dude, the hard way. Now Pashur, the son of Emor the priest, who was also chief governor in the house of the Lord, heard that Jeremiah prophesied these things. Then Pashur smote Jeremiah the prophet, and put him in the stocks that were in the high gate of Benjamin, which was by the house of the Lord. And it came to pass on the morrow that Pashur brought forth Jeremiah out of the stocks. Then said Jeremiah unto him, The Lord hath not called thy name Pashur, but Magor-Messabib. For thus said the Lord, Behold, I will make thee a terror to thyself and to all thy friends. And they shall fall by the sword of their enemies, and thy eyes shall behold it. And I will give all Judah into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall carry them captive into Babylon, and shall slay them with the sword. Moreover, I will deliver all the strength of the city, and all the labors thereof, and all the precious things thereof, and all the treasures of the kings of Judah will I give into the hand of their enemies, which shall spoil them, and take them, and carry them to Babylon. And thou, Pashur, and all that dwell in thine house, shall go into the captivity, and thou shalt come to the Babylon, and there thou shalt die, and shalt be buried there, thou and all thy friends to whom thou hast prophesied lies. O Lord, thou hast deceived me, and I was deceived. Thou art stronger than I, and hast prevailed. And I am in derision daily. Every one mocketh me. For since I spake, I cried out, I cried violence and spoil, because the word of the Lord was made a reproach unto me, and a derision daily. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. But his word was in my heart as a burning fire shut up in my bones, and was weary with forbearing, and I could not say. For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side. Report, say they, and we will report it. All my familiars watched for my halting, saying, Peradventure he will be enticed, and we shall prevail against him, and we shall take our revenge on him. But the Lord is with me as a mighty terrible one. Therefore my prosecutors shall stumble, and they shall not prevail. They shall be greatly shamed, for they shall not prosper. Their everlasting confusion shall never be forgotten. But, O Lord of hosts, that triest the righteous, and seest the reins in the heart, let me see thy vengeance on them. For unto thee I have opened my cause. Sing unto the Lord, praise ye the Lord, for he hath delivered the soul of the poor from the hand of evildoers. Cursed be the day wherein I was born, let not the day wherein my mother bare me be the blessed. Cursed be the man who brought tidings to my father, saying, A man-child is born unto thee, making him very glad. And let that man be as the cities which the Lord overthrew, and repented not. And let him hear the cry in the morning, and the shouting at noontime. Because he slew me not from the womb, or that my mother might have been my grave, and her womb to be always great with me. Wherefore came I forth out of the womb to see labor and sorrow, that my days should be consumed with shame. Perfect timing. I just don't know. Kinetic, maybe? I would have to look this one up, probably. I don't know if they like it. It's too fantasy, I think. Well, William, I don't know what to do here. I think you tried to explain it to me and it didn't work out. Jeremiah. I just don't know. How now? I don't know.